Why is this international airport picking on Crocs? In this episode, we're going to find out. Hey everybody, Eric Gray here, back again, another episode of Radical Content. I don't know why I'm yelling at you today, but I have a lot of energy because last night I went to Dude Perfect with the kids. It was so cool. So we're here in Orlando. They were here last night. You're seeing this video probably in a few weeks when we finish all of our production. But man, what a great, cool experience to see what Dude Perfect puts on. It was the second time I went to the show. This time we had floor seats. Don't worry, we're going to get to lots of content. I promise you. We've got a great show today. But, the cool thing about this time I went versus last time, it was in Savannah last time. Last night it was in Orlando. The floor seats were cool because, I actually turned to my wife at one point. I was like, man, the security and everybody's being really cool because we were on the outside of our aisle. And every time something was going on, kids just bum rushed the stage, almost like a mosh pit. All these kids would come running down the aisle and they just get close and they'd be holding their hand out trying to get like a high five from Tyler or something like that. And security just let them do it. And sometimes they'd let them hang out. Sometimes they'd send them back and be like, hey, get back to your seats, But it was such a cool experience. And man, it's just so amazing to see what these dudes have built, right? They started with, doing trick shots at Texas A&M. And now they're on, live tours where they're got 18,000 people in arenas and they're going all around the country. And at the end of the show, they always spend a little bit of time talking about kind of who they are, what they stand for. And they do a little testimony. They talk about their faith. And, most people kind of stick around for that because this is kind of, if you're interested in them, you kind of know that and you're down for it. And so just a cool night with the family. We'll try to pop some pictures up. I'm sure Marma will reach out and get some pictures of what happened last night. But it was a good time. But Radical Content today, we're doing something a little bit different. I appreciate you guys being with us as we continue to test and adapt what this show is going to look like. We started with 3 segments. We went down to 2. And now we think it's time to go to 1. And we always wanted this to be a YouTube first show. And at the end of the day, there was something weird about saying, here's the title of this video, watch this video, and then we go into something else, and then you don't get to that thing we put in the title until like 12 minutes in. Well, that's not a great viewer experience. That's not a good content experience. So ultimately, we're making the decision to kind of break up all those segments and put them in individual shows. And so normally we always do a content of the week that is being reconfigured, and we are doing a content of the month, and that is happening right now. Here we go. Featured segment today, content of the month. So this is that moment where the team and I get to look at everything that's been happening in the world of brands, storytelling, sometimes creators, and bring some of those things to you. We talk about it, hopefully get some interesting perspectives, and have a little bit of fun along the way. And if you remember last time, we had a special guest. The special guest is back. Brittany, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good.
Brittany is fresh off of a long trip to Italy. You can see she's sporting the hat today. Her and her son were out there. He was playing soccer. I think you were just like...
being a Euro soccer mom.
Just being a Euro soccer mom? Is that a thing? Are it minivans over there or is it something else?
There's none.
All right, so content of the month, you got some awesome stuff today, right? So I've looked through some of them already. I'm ready to go through it. She's going to kind of toss them out for us and we'll react. We'll look at a few clips probably.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Okay, so super excited. Make sure to subscribe to our Content of the Week newsletter. We're so excited for you to definitely do that because a lot of these are going to be pulled from our Content of the Week newsletter. The first one is Tampa International Airport lets you keep your shoes on, yes, unless they're Crocs. That is absolutely hilarious. Did you see the post?
I did. And we'll pop it up here so you can see it. It says the TSA will now let you keep your shoes on through security at Tampa International Airport. And then they have the little...
unless you're wearing Crocs. You should take those off and throw them away.
The shade from an airport.
Especially in Florida, like everybody's wearing Crocs out here.
I mean, my kids wear Crocs. They're everywhere. But for some reason, Tampa International Airport taking a little bit of a jab at Crocs. And, I did kind of go deep in the comments because I like to do that. And I was like, surely Crocs replied. I know some people that used to work at Crocs Social. And so here's their reply. Joke's on them. No one wants to willingly step foot in Florida anyways. It's like, geez. So if you don't know, we're in Florida right now, Central Florida in Orlando. So, but why did we like this? Well, because at the end of the day, this was an announcement from TSA. Many airports were making the same announcement in a very boring and traditional way. So why did we like this?
I like it because it's entertaining. They took a jab at another brand. And especially with a brand that they know is active on social, which was very smart, I feel like. So that way they can get some banter back and forth. And then also now they're taking a shot at Florida. It's like, how far can this go? This could go forever.
I went in and it was like, so 2,500 comments, 4,000 shares. And again, this was news that many, many people shared on that day. But they found a way to, how do we make it interesting? How do we make it a little more unexpected? And there's a lot of people that could have seen, a legal team, a brand marketer that could be like, oh, we can't do that. We can't do that. And still they were given the permission to just have a little fun.
Yeah. Also a text only post. So like usually we make it so hard. We have to make like a whole graphic, get our whole team involved. And they literally just use, what is that? Just Facebook? They just use Facebook and they made that right there. And so easy. So if you think of something simple and easy and funny, do it. Do it as fast as you can. And
it's all about being timely and relevant, right? And even those two words kind of sound overplayed, like timely and relevant. It's like everyone in social's been saying that forever, but it actually really matters. You have to, when something happens, you have to take a minute, think about how could we have some fun with this? How could we do this differently? And actually break through and make the content matter, be intentional with the content. And they did that. So kudos. We've actually talked about a few airports. I know we did our local airport, MCO, a few episodes ago, and now Tampa International Airport having a little fun with Crocs.
Shout out to our reader that was on. They read the newsletter on LinkedIn. They put a link out, Adam Switek. Hopefully I said your name right. I love the TPA post, hilarious. So thank you so much for commenting. If you guys comment, you guys are gonna get a shout out on these episodes. So make sure to comment.
I love the fan interaction, Brittany. Thank you so much. It's so fun. Great. All right, what do we have next?
Next is Liquid Death declares itself the official iced tea of Arizona, Nebraska.
All right, so I saw this one. I actually follow the creative director for Liquid Death on LinkedIn, and he shared something about this, and I was like, what is happening? So at the end of the day, Liquid Death, giant water company, right? There's this whole giant marketing story where they built $1 billion brand on the back of like canned water, but they wanted to do it interesting. They knew there's this whole story about how people in this industry, whether it's kind of the alternative industry, the music industry, skateboard industry, there's a lot of people that aren't drinking anymore. They're really health conscious and they want to have a water or something, and so they created this whole brand around it. They've done a ton of these awesome content stunts, and this is the latest one. And there's this really, really fun video because at the end of the day, they know who owns iced tea, at least from a canned and bottled standpoint. It's Arizona iced tea. It's been around forever, whether you like it or not. It is high brand awareness. And so they decided, let's take on the state of Arizona, and check out this clip that'll explain most of it.
So what do most people think of when they think of iced tea in cans?
I think probably Arizona.
Arizona.
So our mission was clear. Make Liquid Death the official iced tea of Arizona. Welcome to Arizona, Nebraska.
It was so fun to see them actually go into the state of Nebraska, Arizona, Nebraska, and talk about what they were doing. To me, this is, again, another brand. One of the things that's kind of a theme of this is they're just not taking themselves that serious, right? They're having some fun. They're looking for ways to garner some attention. What did you think about when you first saw this, or first kind of thinking about what they were doing?
I think it's just super clever, really clever. I think it's nice to poke fun at a category leader without being petty, like an easy way to poke fun without being too much. And then still, because it's a if you know, you know. Definitely an if you know, you know.
Well, Liquid Death, I'm sure, is going to be a mainstay as they continue to do lots of fun stuff inside of Content of the Month. All right, moving on. Number 3, what do we got today?
We got Quebec.
Oh, I sent this one to you.
I love this one so much. It's a nice little hug. It literally is a marketing hug. I've never felt a marketing hug.
You know,
before.
I don't like to do things that I would call ads on here necessarily, but this is an ad that is also content. If you didn't get a chance to see what Quebec did, it's a Quebec tourism group. It's actually, to be more specific, the Eastern Townships area of Quebec did a travel and tourism ad. And, you know, there's plenty of people that are doing lots of visit content out there, right? And it's like, come see this and you can experience this here. And it's kind of traditional, it's expected, and it's boring. And then this small area of Quebec decided to do this short little video. And then the internet blew up. Like, the whole internet started talking about this commercial because A, it was done so simply and so well. It wasn't overdone between the woman at the hotel and the American man. Their tone, their delivery, their acting. The whole idea was really, really great. And the comments went crazy. This specific post that someone else, like news networks, started covering it because they found a way to kind of, this is what I love about it the most, I think. They found a way to kind of draft off of the politics and the, you know, the divisiveness that's kind of going on in America, but not be so much about politics. They didn't have an opinion. They just kind of used that as a jumping off point to be relevant and to be timely, to try to find a way to get some attention. And at the end, they gave you a couple cool little shots of actual township of Quebec. What did you like about it?
I loved how I loved how they created that tension. You didn't know what was gonna happen. Like, what was she gonna do after she pressed that button? You're like,
Yeah, I thought she might go punch him.
yeah, like what's gonna happen? And then a hug, like, oh, cute. I think it was also like that there was no lines at that point. Like, it was just an action.
Yeah, the dialogue in this was so little.
We've actually covered a couple of tourism boards. We did the Miami one that was absolutely hilarious. So this is just a completely opposite feeling, and so there's a lot of things to learn from this.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, like I know marketing is about, you know, creativity, but a lot of times it's just not. It's the first idea. It's not the bold idea, and this area decided to do something cool. I actually dug a little deeper, and I was like, what is Eastern Townships? I was like, where is that? So I had to look up and see that it's in kind of the south side of Quebec, close to America. So they are getting lots of Americans that probably come across for visiting. And then as I was thinking about doing a Google search, I was like, I wonder what the Google search trends were for Eastern Townships, because it says that at the end of the ad, and I'm like, I don't know where that is. And so I went in, and you can see, again, there's a graph that will pop up here, this giant spike here at the end. That is people looking to find out what is Eastern Townships. What drove that? This ad, this content, right? And so really, really cool stuff. You know, such a fun way. And at the end of the day, like, it's content that meets a certain kind of point in culture that then the news and the media pick up with it, and then it becomes a cultural kind of moment. So great job. All right, we got one more to close things out. What is it, Britt?
Last one, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They drafted a baby, guys. They put their dibs on a baby already.
Oh my gosh. So this one was so good. You guys, you know, you watch this podcast, you know I'm a sports guy. And I saw this when it happened live. There's an original TikTok that you will share here that's got 19 million views, and it's this mom with her 4-month-old child who is healthy. We'll just say that. He's eating good, he's healthy, and it just says, you know, it says when you have a 100th percentile off the charts 4-month-old. And that's just kind of happening out there in the world. It's kind of getting popular, and the social media team for the Bucks sees this as an opportunity, and they just comment back and just say, calling dibs on this kid, assuming he's going to be an amazing, defensive end, offensive tackle. And then again, just like what happened with Quebec, the media took it and ran with it. SportsCenter shared it, and then it kind of was everywhere. So if you literally, kind of search Tampa Bay dibs baby, you're going to find this video. And so, yeah, super, super cool moment to kind of see a brand that gets it, a brand that's kind of plugged into what's going on. What did you like about it, Britt?
Shout out to the community managers, man. Like, you're out there swiping everywhere, trying to figure out where to comment, and just to think so cleverly about that moment. I'm happy and proud because sometimes you can disconnect when you're off and reconnect when you're on. And like, what time was that posted? Like, how could they have thought about that? And just like that, they posted it. So I'm just shout out to you.
Yeah, you know, there's a growing narrative in the world of social media that we're overworked, we're wearing too many hats, we're not paid enough. And I'm not going to jump into that because that's a brush fire. I know sometimes it can be hard, but there's something true. When you are plugged in, I think Sarah Whittle said it on this show one time, there's nothing better than a person that's like a social media person that's just in the channel. They know the cultures, they know what's happening. And, you know, that should not be insane pressure that you can't live your life and you can't, what do they say, touch grass. But there is something special when you get culture, you're plugged in, and you see something come across your newsfeed and you're like, oh, I got an idea, right? Because that's all this started with, like one person, one scroll, one idea, and then all of a sudden it goes everywhere. So a really, really cool shout out to all of these teams that are working at some of these brands that we talked about today. Tampa International, the Crocs, who else do we got? We got Liquid Death, the Quebec Eastern Townships. I did not think we'd be shouting them out. And then, of course, Tampa Bay Bucks just down the road here from Orlando. A strong first episode of Content of the Month.
Yes, Content of the Month. Hey guys, if you see any content out there and you see anything cool, anything that you think we might like, comment it down below. Let us know so that way we can connect with you guys, and then maybe we'll make it on the show. You never know.
All right, everybody, episode 27 in the books. Thank you, Brittany, for all of the time today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So much good stuff coming out of Content of the Month. Remember, if you like this, share this with your team. Share this with your boss. That's always where we want it to go first. But a rating, a review is helpful as well, because we want to make sure that we continue to make this content. It gets into the hands, gets into the ears and the eyes of the right people. We stand for brands that want to do things different. We stand for brands that want to entertain, overdo the expected. And so hopefully you're getting that here, and hopefully we'll be able to do more of that for you. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.